What's going on, Hustle Nation? Today we're going to be talking about doing a deep dive into fixing and flipping home appliances. In this particular case, I'm actually going to attempt it with refrigerators, dishwashers, dryers, and see firsthand what type of opportunities there are as far as, how much money I'm going to make and how I can start it with zero knowledge, because I know nothing of fixing refrigerators. But I'm going to understand that, and you got to understand if you're starting, thinking about starting an appliance repair business or something like that, you got to know something about it. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to get up to speed on understanding the ins and outs. So first things first, I gathered some inventory. So I've got this refrigerator I picked up for, I live in the Dallas area, so I picked up for $100. Doesn't work, and it seems like you get the trend of what's broken all the time in these things. So for example, I've noticed that it's not getting cool is the problem, right? Either it's not getting cool in the refrigerator area or not getting cool in the freezer area, whatever. But the biggest problem, it's not getting cool, and you immediately think, compressor or something like that. But a lot of time, or sometimes, what I found, at least in this case, it's not always the most expensive part, so you can fix it up and flip it. So I want to talk about some things that I've done that I shouldn't have done and what to look out for. So first-hand knowledge and a deep dive. Follow my journey. I'm just getting started in this, and I'm going to show you tips and tricks on what to do, what not to do. And if you veteran guys have been doing it for a while, leave comments below and tell us, what the best way to go about things are. Because I really, picked up a lot of tips on doing my first one. And, when you're first starting out, understand that it's not going to be a quick thing, right? I mean, it might take you a month to finally understand what a problem is, right? So give you some lead time on how to understand the business. So the biggest takeaway is it's not going to be, probably, unless you already know how to repair refrigerators, it's probably not going to be instantaneous fix and flip kind of thing. You have to understand what's wrong, diagnose the problem, fix the problem, test the problem, and verify that it's fixed, and then be able to sell it at a reasonable rate. So you have to understand what the market's buying for and what the market's selling for, those kind of things. So what I wish I would have known at the beginning is that sometimes, and a lot of times, and this is true, you can get refrigerators, at least here in Dallas, I don't know about your part of town, but you can get refrigerators for free sometimes, a lot of times. You just got to be the first one to do it, or you got to drive a far distance, kind of. Far distance, I'm meaning like 30 minutes, right? There and 30 minutes back, Quite often it's about like that. But you do have the advantage that, a lot of people don't have trucks or something that they can go pick up a refrigerator. And if you don't, and I don't either, I have to rent a truck from Home Depot. I've got to coordinate a help to help me, because the refrigerator is a two-person job. I don't care what anybody says, unless you're big, which I'm not. But even then, the refrigerator to load and unload is a two-person job, for the most part. So you have to coordinate help, and you have to factor that into what you're buying the refrigerator for. So the cheaper the better. Usually it's the same, not usually, but a lot of times the problem is it doesn't get cool, right? At least that's what I found in the summer. And I just started this, so, don't take my advice as anything worthwhile. But I will be doing a deep dive into these. I've got this one here. I've got this one over here. And you don't have to buy more than one at a time, but expect the first one to be the one that you learn on, and the one that you spend a lot of time on and maybe more money on, at first. Think of it as training class, right? You're gonna buy them, you gotta fix them, and you gotta sell them, right? If you don't fix them, you can't sell them. So buy them off of, I look at Facebook Marketplace all the time, and they're plentiful, even at $100 each. I mean, there's room for profit there, I believe. But I will keep you abreast on what I'm actually selling them for. I paid way too much for this. Well, $100 is not too bad for this, but I paid way too much for putting stuff in it when I didn't understand what the actual problem was. So don't overspend on parts is my second probably big theme of this video. Understand what's wrong with it first before you go out and buy parts for it. Because one simple little thing, and I'll do a video for it, is the door light switches solved so many things. I mean, it solved the lights not turning on, the door alarm going off, the refrigerator not cooling very well, the water not pumping, right? I thought I bought me a water pump because, or water valve because the water wouldn't work, because the light switch didn't seem pushed in. I mean, crazy little things, right? And understand, probably the third big topic is understand the basics first before trying to dive into the hard stuff, because all those little things could have been solved by that. And I tried to jump into the advanced stuff first, looking at why didn't the water, flow, right? I thought it went straight to the valve. I thought it was a problem, and I was, getting my meter out trying to test voltage and stuff. It's like, dude, first check the switches, right? The light switches and stuff, that kind of thing. But I'll do a video. Leave me a comment below if you want me to do a video on the technical part of that stuff too. If you want me to do how to, what's wrong kind of videos. But starting the appliance refurbished business, or whatever you want to call it, fix and flip business, appliance repair business, whatever. Subscribe below to follow my journey, and I'll show you my inventory and everything like that, and we'll get started on all that. So thanks for watching. All right, so there's the refrigerator, the GE that I just got done fixing up. You gotta make it look real nice and everything. Everything works on it. You gotta make sure it's nice and clean. The drawers are all there for the most part, right? Everything's there. Everything works. It's nice and cold. And this refrigerator, and like I said, this refrigerator cost $100. But this refrigerator here, which is not too bad, the problem is also it's not cooling very well. It shows 35, but it doesn't pass the beer test, and it shows 48. So big difference there. So I'm thinking, I don't know, thermistor, maybe thermostat, something. But we'll do some tests on that. I've got another refrigerator here. Let's see what it's. $100 for the refrigerator. It looks really nice. Got a few little, that's not even a ding there, that's just scuff. But looks nice in there. Got some dishwashers here, or a dishwasher. Got a wine refrigerator. Got some washing machines back there, and got dishwasher here that works. I tested that one out. Got a couple more refrigerators here. So you don't have to go crazy at first like this, right? And just buy a bunch of stuff. But I'm telling you, at least I'm going through 5 refrigerators, some dishwashers, some washing machines before I tell you what this result is going to be. So it's not just me doing one thing, right, and then telling you it works or not. It's me doing several things, right? I'm going to get averages on the costs. I'm going to get how much effort. Well, first, don't worry about how much effort, and that's another big thing I would say. That's worth talking about. That's right, factoring your time in, right? So at first, don't try to factor your time in, and just see if you can actually do the business of finding, fixing, and selling. Okay, so the first one or two times, you don't have to go out there and buy a whole bunch of stuff like I did, but I want to actually do, a good test amount to be able to tell you guys, yes, this is a good business, or no, this is not even worth the time. So I got a good, and it's easy to get. I mean, Facebook Marketplace, I mean, I don't know if I bought too much. Well, I don't know if I bought it for too high. Probably some stuff, and then I can learn and say, oh, okay, now I wouldn't buy a refrigerator for anything less than $50, whatever. But we'll see. And that part's the learning curve too. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys as well. But so at first, don't include your effort cost, because the ramp up time and the learning time, the learning curve that you're going to put in is not going to be always that amount of time when you get good at repairing these things, right? So when you get good and in the groove is when you can start counting the time that you're putting in. But at first, you can't say, oh, it took me, a month to repair this refrigerator, and I have to count that time to sell it. No, not at first. At first, do the proof of concept, buy one, fix it up, and sell it. That the concept is that you can buy it, fix it, and sell it, right? And see, go from there, right? Did it work? If it didn't work, why couldn't you sell it? Were you trying to sell it too high? You didn't fix it good enough, or whatever it is, right?